guys, so today I'm here for a tag video. I feel like it's been so long since I've just sat down and done a tag video, but I haven't really had like many ideas for videos lately. But then it dawned on me that I was actually tagged in the Disney Channel book tag, and this was a tag from Sashreads, and I will link her down below because she's an amazing person. And she did this video like months and months ago, and she tagged me in it, and I was kind of sitting there like, oh, this looks like fun, even though I have barely seen any of these movies because I never had the Disney Channel, and like I have Disney Plus now, so I can actually watch some of these movies that I have not seen before, which I think is very exciting. But I'm so keen to do this tag, and the original tag was created by Jenna at JustaLittleBitRandom, so I'll also link her down below and her original video for this tag. So there's 11 questions that are based around Disney original movies, and I am excited to get into this tag. So number one is the Cheetah Girls, and the question is name a book with a solid female friendship. I feel like this is going to be like a really random one, but I'm going to say Alice and Bella from Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. And mainly I've been thinking about this friendship again because I am currently reading Midnight Sun, like I'm only this far into it. So it has been amazing being in Edward's perspective in this book, and it's really bringing back like the Twilight days for me. But what's really fun is because Alice can see the future, she already knows that she's going to be best friends with Bella. So she's already so happy that Bella's going to be her friend, and she hasn't even really interacted with her at all. And I just think it's so adorable. And like that is such a solid friendship. Like Alice is a good friend that you want, and really Alice's and Bella's relationship is like the standing relationship throughout the whole series, because I know we have the Edward and Jacob Bella like love triangle fiasco, but Bella and Alice is like where it's at. Like their relationship is just so cute, and they're so solid, and just the one that I wanted to talk about today. So number two is High School Musical, name a book with a star-crossed lovers romance. So I'm going to mention Lady Helen and the Dark Days Club, and this relationship happens between Lady Helen and Lord Castleton. So this book is set in 1812, and there is demons in the world, and they have to fight to protect humanity from them. It's very similar to the Infernal Devices, so if you liked that, you will like this book. It is a lot of fun. I want more people to read it. But basically they are these reclaimers, and that is their job role, and they don't have as many cool powers as shadow hunters, but they can still do a lot of cool stuff. But basically reclaimers aren't allowed to like be with each other, and there is rarely ever female reclaimers, but he is like in love with her, and Helen loves him, and he's just such a grumpy little thing, and she's so sweet. Like this is the grumpy one falls for the soft one trope like so well, but they are not meant to be together at all. And being reclaimers, it's a very dangerous role, and a lot of bad stuff happens to you down the line as you get older and you grow more with your role as a reclaimer. So there is a lot of things against them not being together. And also there's like this guy that's like courting her that wants to marry her, and she's like, excuse me, no, like I'm my own woman. So there's a lot of factors that are stopping them being together, but it is beautiful and I highly recommend it. Number three is Cant Rock, so name a book with a focus on music. I'm gonna say 1000 Perfect Notes by C.G. Drews, because this is like a Beethoven, I think that's how you say the name, but it's a Beethoven retelling, and this is about Beck, and he plays the piano, and his mother is this totally controlling bitch who is so horrible to her children, and she just never got her dreams of being a famous pianist. So she is forcing her children to do hours a day at piano to try and make them do it, and Beck is sick of it. Like he loves piano, but he doesn't want to play anymore because of the way that she treats him. But then this girl August comes into the story and like makes him kind of see what happiness is like again, and it's so cute. And again, the grumpy one meets the sunshine one. Like this trope is present in these books today, but seriously, it is a great story, very sad, but just such a good read. Number four is the Princess Protection Program, so name a character who is a royal but has to hide it. I'm gonna say The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. So our main character is Princess Leia, and she has to marry a prince from the neighboring kingdom, and she doesn't really want to do that, so she runs away, and like they've never even met before, and they had to get married the next day, but she runs away with her maid, and they go to this place where they pretend that she's not a royal and she's hiding from the prince. But then this assassin also comes to like try and kill her, but basically she can't let anyone know that she's the princess who's gone missing, and she's just chilling and working in this pub. And then the story really evolves from there, because you got the two perspectives of the prince and the assassin, and you kind of don't know who's who and like what's going to happen to her, but she still has to hide who she is. And I really enjoyed this aspect of it, even though she only goes one town over where anyone could find her, but still she is trying to hide who she is. Number five is Wizards of Waverly Palace, the movie, so name a book that has magic. I'm going to say say Caraval by Stephanie Garber because I only recently read Legendary and it just made me remember how magical this story is. And not that there is like a heap of magic in this book, but just the vibe of it is so magical. And Legend does have a lot of magic. Like, not everyone in the story has magic, but a lot of people have magic, and it's just really fun. And I love that it's got the Caraval and it's a big game and there's so much going on and you know what's true and what's not, and it's just beautiful. I really enjoyed this book and I'm so glad I continue on with the series, but I still have yet to pick up Finale. Like, I have it in my currently read list in Goodreads for the past 3 months and I'm like, I was gonna read it. It hasn't happened yet. I thought I would, but it just hasn't happened yet. Number 6 is Avalon High, name a book based on a legend. So I'm assuming this just means like a retelling of like any story. So I'm just going to put out The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh because I haven't talked about this one for ages. And I still think I would totally love to give this one a reread because it is still one of my faves. And it's 1001 Nights retelling and I think it was done really, really well. I love Shahrazad and Khalid and their relationship is still like one of my most favorite ever. I just love it so much. This is becoming an older book now, but I highly recommend you picking it up if you haven't yet because it's got a solid romance, it's angsty, it's fun, there's magic, there's a lot of shit going on and it's great. Number 7 is Lemonmouth, name a character who is not afraid to stand up for what they believe in. I'm gonna say Star Carter from The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas because she is such an iconic character, and even though it was really hard for her in the beginning to figure out really what she wanted to stand for and what she wanted to do, because it can be scary because this book is about the Black Lives Matter movement and it's something that has been continuously going on for decades, but the fact that her friend dying in front of her is what sparked her to go against what was happening to them, and she really did make an impact on her world, and I think it was so beautiful that she was able to talk out about it and really tell people what happened that night, and she really started to have this big support system around her, and it was just really beautiful to read. And I more recently watched the movie, and I say more recently and I mean like last November when I went to Hong Kong and I watched it on the plane, and I was very excited that I was able to do that. But I do love this book and it is still one of the most impactful books that I've ever read, and it was just beautiful. Number 8 is Girl vs Monster, name a character who faces their fears and ultimately overcomes them. I'm going to say Cress for this prompt because I feel like her main fear is actually leaving the kind of prison that she's in space, because she is a very timid and quiet girl, and yes, she's a really cool hacker and everything, but her actually having to go into the real world, I think that was a very daunting and scary thing for her because she had to navigate it, and even though she did have Thorn with her, and also having the expectations that Thorn isn't as good of a guy as she thought he was, so she also has to overcome that, but she becomes so fierce and strong as the book and the series goes on, and I just loved Cress so much, but I do think she overcomes so much in the series and she did such a good job. Number 9 is Teen Beach Movie, so name a book set in summer. I want to talk about Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson because another book I haven't mentioned for a while. I read this last year, but it was a really, really fun read. It was based over summer, and Emily, the main character, her best friend Sloane kind of disappears, and she leaves her this like bucket list of like 13 things that she needs to do over the course of summer, and at first she's really hesitant and against it, but over the course of this she gets more confident, she has friendships and she starts relationships, and she just has like a really good time over the summer, and I thought it was a really good read. Like, it's a really thick one, like there's a lot going on in this series, but I highly recommend it, I highly enjoyed it, and I still need to carry on with more of her books. Like, I just have not yet and need to make it happen. Number 10 is Descendants, so name a book where the bad guys turn out to be the good guys. I'm gonna say Akatar by Sarah J Maas because the Night Court is seen as the villain of the series for so long, especially Rhysand, because he's the evil High Lord and he's gonna like rape you and kill your babies. Like, that is the impression that we have of him, and even though on my second read I saw like the snarkiness and the beauty that is my bae, but it's funny that we're so Team Tamlin and we're so into it, we're so happy about this, but then next minute he is the tool of the series, and then literally we go to the Night Court and we realize that they literally share 3 brain cells between the whole inner circle, so they are amazing and just goofy and a bunch of dumbasses, but they are just on point and are actually the good guys, and I'm so glad we made this turning point because, like Tamlin, I loved it so much when I read it years ago, but I'm so glad that I reread it and I discovered how much I loved Rhysand, and it is beautiful, still one of my favorite things of all time. But I just love the turn of this and how the characters really changed, and it was just so good. Okay, question number 11 is for zombies, so name a book with an interspecies romance. I definitely want to mention Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Aurora and Cal have this like dynamic that's happening in this series. I am very for it. Like, the main reason why I bought the second book is I want to see how this develops, because there's like this kind of weird soulmate thing, and she is like a human, I guess, and he's like this alien species, and they're like an interspecies kind of thing, and like nothing's happened yet, and I have not read Aurora Burning, so don't spoil it for me if more happens, because like I don't want to know, and I don't know when I'm gonna read Aurora Burning. Like I need to, but it just hasn't happened yet. But I really was vibing their relationship even though nothing happened yet, but like I'm for it. So my battery is about to die, so I better end this video before I like don't have enough time to finish it. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tag. It was like really a lot of fun to do, and I definitely need to catch up on some of these Disney original movies that I have not seen. But anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!